After a recent changing of the guard, the Peoria Fire Department has announced a new division chief of prevention. Prevention Bureau Fire Investigator Josh Harris will now be stepping into the role after the department announced the retirement of longtime Division Chief Nate Rice. Harris brings over a decade of experience as a fire investigator from the Prevention Bureau. In a release from Fire Chief Sean Solberger, Harris has demonstrated excellent leadership, dedication, and a strong commitment to the department's mission. To fill that opening at the Prevention Bureau, Captain Paramedic Ryan Brady accepted the position. Brady has been with the department since 2008 and briefly served as the president of Peoria Firefighters Local 50 Union.